Okay, so this is being recorded now. So let's do it here. You want me to increase the view here? Okay. So here I will say equals to, right? So the demand to Philadelphia is 140 times, right? The cubic feet for exercise bag is 12, right? And this will be fixed. I'm just gonna press F4 here. If you press F4, you know the absolute referencing, right? And radio referencing. If you use the absolute referencing, you can copy the formula down. When you copy the formula down, it will change the rows, but you will keep your exercise bike fixed. Okay, so I will show you how it works here. So that's for this one, plus we'll have cross trainers E16 times cubic feet for that 15. I will press F4 here, plus treadmills here times cubic feet for each treadmill, which is C10. Right? Did I miss anything there? That's what we have written there as well, right? So there are no variables. Why?
12, I get that order good. Come on.
Yes. Right. Just there you go. Let's celebrate.
Yes. Let's celebrate.
Is it?
You're good? Your function key?
Yeah.
Next to your space and off. The F-in. Hold that.
I see it, thank you.
Then Excel 2013, you can just double click on it and should fill it up, but it's doing more than required. So I'll just drag it down here.
That's a good trick, though.
Yes.
That is a good trick.
A lot of good tricks in 2013.
Yeah.
They really made it very powerful. Have you worked with the Excel tables? That's really good. It's a neat feature that they came up with. So these are the volumes, right? That's required for each location.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's come up with the, yes, Kenny.
Sorry, that's how you do this.
You just drag it down.
Oh.
I just dragged it down. Okay. So you remember, if you go here, your only some cells are changing, not C8, C9, and C10, because those are absolute. You fixed it by putting those dollar sign there. Okay. Yes, Richard.
No, I'm just making sure that he gets it, because you need to understand the dollar sign.
Yes,
He's just not
please.
quite there yet.
Yeah, please explain it to him as well.
Pretty good?
Yeah, I got 5210, but I don't have those other
You have
volumes.
50.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
5012.
Just drag it down.
No,
But you can't drag unless you have dollar signs. If you have dollar signs, you can drag. If no dollar signs, it's going to change it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
The
changing.
dollar sign is keeping row 8, 9, and 10 always those, no matter where. Excel's going to try to change
I don't have
that.
any dollar signs.
That's what you got to type them in.
You have to have it,
Type them in. Go back
See?
up to the formula.
right?
Yeah, so type in dollar sign just to keep those cells soft so they don't move.
I thought you could use it that way.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, you can just do that for as well.
There are 100 ways.
100 ways to do it. You Richard is said it right. It's not working.
If you do
Just
on here,
go
then you put
there.
the FN, button that's down here.
It says, yeah, function.
Yeah, your laptop might have different things. So
The default settings should say the default function here now.
yes,
Because it's not a dedicated key.
it's not a dedicated key. Yeah,
They're being deprioritized since the main is.
yeah.
In that equation,
Yeah.
every place that has a C, put a, dollar sign before and after it. You're just telling it, don't move from C, don't move from A, don't move from C, don't move from I.
Kimberly, you with me right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you can cut and paste and you drag.
I think, I'm scared of Now, how do you get it to go all the way down?
First, hit enter. Then bring the person back to that cell. And you see the dot, so the yellow dot is a big, yeah, now drag it down. There you go.
Okay.
Right? Now, since you see, click on 7785. You see C8, C9, C10, they're not changing.
Right.
So other cells are, yeah, because we fixed it.
The 9 didn't
See here, dollar, you put dollar.
fit. Done?
Yes, dollar everywhere. Make sense? Otherwise, you're just fixing the row, not the column.
Okay.
So we just put a dollar there as well. And the dollar there as well. Hit enter. And then dollar down. Yeah, between between those dollar signs, you also make sure that you can please just
So there.
When he said,
What is that?
So there are a lot of tricks with Excel. You can not only fix the entire cell, but you can fix only rows or fix only columns as well to make your formulas more versatile. I'm not going to confuse you that much, but if you put the dollar symbol in front of row and column number, you're basically fixing one particular cell, but it will not change. Okay. Now,
Yeah, it just makes it tough when you just, Excel does a lot of good stuff
Yes.
for you, and that limits kind of when you want to move it way over here. And still
yes.
follow Excel can't follow you.
Yeah, exactly. The Richard, the good thing is, when you get into the fixing only one part of it, it even gets more interesting.
Yeah.
At times, it increases the functionality of Excel greatly. Plus, if you do a lot of charting and tables, that's where Excel literally kicks it in.
Yeah.
We have a good case which I'm gonna showcase you the next Friday. So I will show you. I'm gonna upload a big database, Access database, and then what we're gonna do is we'll dynamically link the pivot table to Access. Dave might have already done it, but maybe for others, just to see how we can link the real database with the pivot table and operate from there. So yeah, so you might like it, and we'll do some data visualization, which is very common, not a rocket science, but I guess it's a good thing to know as an executive. So I guess we're just gonna use basic pivot. Power pivot is good. I haven't used it much, but to me, if you can write the query and connect it to the pivot table, basically you're doing the same thing. I don't see power pivot is just taking that abstraction level to next level. And why would I create a relationship in Excel when I can do it in Access? It doesn't make sense to me. But maybe plus what if you want to bring in the data from many different sources? So maybe that thing is going to be good at that point of time. Yes. Yes, Tableau. Yeah. It's a tough market out there. Like as soon as somebody comes up with a new idea, everyone wants to be on the bandwagon. Right? Who thought? That's innovation, right? Amazon, like you remember last decade, Amazon was just merely a book company. But now, what do you think? It's one of the biggest retailer. But that's it. Do you think that's it? They are the retailers. That's it? No, they are virtually expanding like anything. Now they are into cloud computing, and one of the big players in cloud computing. Video streaming. See how they are. Search. Yes. See how they are. This. It's like amazing. Like people come up with such a wonderful ideas. And On the same plate, you see Barnes and Nobles. Nowhere. They didn't change at all. So other those Bogan, like, that's a survival today. It's a very dynamic market. All of us need to keep innovating, thinking new. It's not, that's what I keep telling. The big data is not about as much the difficulty of processing the big data, but it is more about new ideas. How would you process? What else you can do to get the thing out of it? So that's what I guess the biggest challenge is. So here, whenever you're coming back to Excel here, always highlight yourself. Like here, the yellow means those are representing my decision variables. Okay, so I'm just gonna highlight that yellow so that it's gonna be helpful for me to understand. Plus, what I'm gonna do is whatever my optimization cell is that I'm trying to minimize here, that's gonna be color blue, or any other color that you. I always put those regions here. So once you, like, after maybe 2-3 months, when you open this file again, what you did and what is going to be easy for you to understand. So here, decision variables we cannot control. So you can randomly put anything. We're going to play with it later, but you can just randomly put anything because we want first, before we touch the solver, I want you to come up with optimal solution manually. Okay, and then we'll see, compare each other's solution, and we'll see the winner, and then we'll see whether you can get as best at least as the solver. Okay, but this is a little fun game maybe, right? So the volume for the truck will always equals to the number of trucks I'm using, which will be this one, right? And obviously I want it to be relative referencing because I want to copy it down this one, times the capacity for each truck, which is this cell 5. And obviously guys, that has to be fixed, right? Because the capacity of the truck is fixed. Right, hit enter, copy it down. Excel does the magic for us. Right, and then here tractor trailers, again we're just gonna randomly put the numbers. Right, and then the magic here, tractor trailers times the capacity, fixed it and drag it down. Now you have to say equally, equally. Yeah, otherwise it doesn't.
No, we are doing the other one.
Click on the and this equals to IS6, which is press F2. Can you press F2? So this one, this times the capacity of that truck. This one. And that has to be fixed. So can you press F4? Yeah, that's a shortcut. Otherwise, you can do it manually as well. And then just try to zoom down here. Yes. Yeah. And then here you can randomly put some numbers, let's say 1. Here again, we will do equals to the number of tractor trailers I'm using, right? Times 280. What are you going to be doing? F4. Press enter here. Drag it down. Right. Right, so I'm going to drag it down. So total vehicle capacity should be equals to what? volume for trucks plus volume for tractor trailers, right? So that's easy enough. And
Say that one more time.
this one, I-16 plus K-16,
What is cases?
right?
It's the,
Oh,
the
okay,
two that you
volume.
just calculated?
Yeah, volume of the trucks plus
So it's,
volume for tractor
trucks
trailers.
and- yeah.
And the background is with it.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so we will equal the first cell plus the second cell.
Yes,
sir. And then we'll put this up, you know, it's, You might have another. It's just rewrote on a copy of that. You should- it's got some sugar. Which is the dragon.
No, but the one is not.
There's no.
Yes.
First, the full function.
What is it? What is it?
No, you were referencing to the wrong cell. Somehow, when you type it in,
It's not this one.
no, it's that one. Let's say function is not here. This red cell, you were pointing it here somewhere. So it was a typo or something. Right? And then total capacity is going to be what?
This one.
This one. Right?
Yeah, that's sure.
Please, guys, don't fall behind. No, anybody is getting stuck, raise your hand. Somebody will be there to help you. Okay. Now, although this vehicle capacity utilized not going to be used anywhere, but it's always good to know what is the percentage utilization. We want it to be as high as possible, right? So, how would you calculate the utilization? Yes. So, whatever is required divided by total vehicle capacity. There you go. Right. So right now you will not get the right answer because we randomly key in this numbers, right? So obviously we will not get the right answer, but we will fix it going forward, right? You guys with me so far? Okay, so 130%, obviously it cannot be more than 100%, so because of those random numbers, they're getting these values here. Let's find the shipping cost. So shipping cost equals to shipping cost depends on
Total volume for trucks times miles times.
not the
operating
volume,
amount.
not the volume, Dave, right? Number of trucks.
Volume, right, trucks times miles.
So we'll say, yeah, number of trucks
Got it.
times the miles we're gonna use, right?
Times cost, hold on.
Times D5. I'm gonna fix the cost. Right?
You
Shipping
selected
cost.
the wrong box there. You got EB
Total
instead of
miles, right?
miles for Philadelphia. So it should be D,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, it should be C16.
You can just drag the red box over to miles.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know that. There is always something new to learn, right?
Yeah.
Right. Plus, we need to add the shipping cost for tractor trailers here. So that's going to be number of tractor trailers here times number of miles, which is C16 again, times 130. And I'm going to fix it. Right? Are you guys with me? Okay, so I'm just gonna drag this one down. Also understand one thing, that I already gave you this structure framework. Just coming up with this framework in Excel is tough. You need to really understand what you're doing. Okay, so when you will be thinking about a project, think about how would you put it out there. Obviously, you know, as I said, have three sections. One is the decision variables, one is the objective function cell, and then you will have set of constraints. And obviously first couple of boxes could be data which is given to you, as is the case in this one. Are you guys with me? Right, so total cost equals sum of all this shipping cost, right?
How do you get that after some that?
So
some
you're gonna
parentheses somewhere?
sum open parenthesis, and then just drag this one down, close parenthesis. All right, so that's going to give you the total cost. All right, now we need the total for more or less everything. So I'm just going to drag it this one to the left and get the total for everything. Right, now obviously this is not going to be dollar, so we have to somehow format this one and get those things out there. So let's say this one is not dollars, these are just numbers, right?
Yes.
So can we do something quickly here, or
Hit the
the comma one? Awesome.
And you wanna
What?
hit the comma on it, and then, yeah, exactly.
And then you can do it, or you know, simplest way which I always like is, you know, right click on it, go to format cells, you know, and by that you can define precisely. Instead of custom, I'm just gonna say numbers, right? And then 0 decimal places, so that I always like doing that way. And this is percentage, so I'm just gonna click on percentage here, and this is not going to be right here, right? This is not the right thing to do. You cannot just add it up, right?
Where?
uh,
Oh, there.
percentage of vehicle capacity, that should be calculated again. So obviously I'm going to drag this one down.
That's in the percentage one,
Yes,
and you just,
I just drag the same formula down because that is based on,
oh, you drag the formula down. from-
yes, obviously I need to
okay.
copy.
To-
Do you want to do that, or do you want to do the? There it goes.
I'm just going to do equals, I want to retain the formatting, so I'm just going to do again this divided by this here.
Don't use format data.
Yeah, but then again it's going to put that normal number.
Yeah, they use it.
Yeah, many ways to do it. Yes, that's why I like technology so much. Here, as you see, we cannot add it up, the volume utilization. We have to calculate it. So we're not gonna sum it up. So I'm just gonna put in the formula there again. Right now, are you guys with me? Anybody falling behind?
Just put the cursor back on that cell. Just want to see the formula.
Oh,
No, not that one. Sorry, the one next to it. Yep, that one.
Mhm.
G21 and L21. Yes.
That got all this fast, we'll get to look at it,
Yeah. So.
And those who are with me, now the game begins. What you're gonna do is, we're not gonna use a solver. We're gonna use our maybe computer in our mind, right? And try to come up with the best possible number. So all you have to do is make sure you satisfy all the constraints. So this number of trucks are 10 here, right? So we are kind of satisfying that constraint. They are all greater than 0. They are all integer. What about here? We are using 7, right? So we don't have 7, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come up with 1 here, and this could be one possible solution. Are you guys with me? Right? So can you beat this solution and give me the lower number? Try it out. Try different combination of these numbers here and these numbers here.
You can't exceed the vehicle.
Say it again.
You can't exceed the vehicle factor.
No, you cannot. You have to satisfy all the constraints. Okay.
Percent of vehicle package utilize can't be over 100%, right? It's no way to get it.
No, yeah, that's another thing you have to make sure. It has to be below it. So
There's no way.
Can you change the track? Maybe you don't take.
yeah, you have to track. You have to change the track, right? You have to do something there,
Something's wrong though.
right?
You can't do something.
Something, yeah. To see now,
Put 0 for put 1.
you do it. Do it on your Excel thing and give me the shortest possible answer.
But the percentage you're calculating backwards.
Yeah, mine you're going. So.
This is 1 here. No, this is so it's gonna be 3 maybe here. And we are done here, so maybe 0 here.
Yeah, he's right.
And maybe
I started here to create the sun, yeah,
If you put less, it should be 331%.
yeah, so what are you gonna put? So here, how you have to come up with some combination that's gonna satisfy all the constraints. So here
It
I'm
should be L divided by G. Yeah, it's the calculations. There's something wrong with the calculation and
here.
percent of vehicle utilized.
Yeah, L16
Calculate
divided by
backwards.
316.
Which one?
That
I
part,
think he got it right, we got it wrong.
G20.
It's L16 divided by G16 or G16 divided by L16.
Yeah, G16 divided by L16.
And that's what y'all are saying is wrong.
it's L divided by G.
L divided by G. You think it's G divided by L.
Yeah, I'm confused as well. So give me a minute to think about it.
Here, here's backwards. We'll let you catch up.
So total capacity available is going to be denominator always, right? And total capacity you're using will be numerator, right?
If I put 0 and 0, it should be 0%. So if you put 0 and 0 for trucks and tractor trailers, percent of capacity utilized should be 0. So put zeros in there. Watch the formula.
So it's going to be infinity here.
Put 0 and 0. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of getting that division error.
Yes.
So if you put 1 for trucks now, change the calculation for 1 for truck, then I'm at 30% utilization.
Yeah, me too.
So you got to swap.
Yeah, maybe you have a point. Yes. Well, let's swap this one.
Okay, yeah.
So that should be equals to this one divided by this one.
Which makes sense on that first one anyway, right? Because you're trying to divide a smaller number by a bigger number to get the percentage. Right? 3,000
Yes.
divided by 5,000, you wouldn't divide 5,000 by 3,000.
Would it be
In
G16 divided by?
Yeah, in cell M16,
This
you need to change the formula to be L16 divided by G16.
No, it's reversed. It's G divided by L.
Wait,
Because right now he has more, it should be more than 100% because he has more volume required than the vehicle capacity.
14,956.
you think it's L divided by G?
We just got G divided by
Which one should we
L.
put in there?
Let me check my notes, okay? Before I,
What were you saying?
14,956.
I won't.
Two yellows on 16.
Yes, but I got 12 points.
You should.
Yeah,
Zero,
yeah.
you should get division error. G
I
divided
did
by
all
L.
So I must have got mine wrong.
Let's see.
I had total
How many am I supposed to deliver?
$9,600.
Really? If you have all zeros, you should be at 0% capacity, right? You're not using any of your capacity at all. And as you add more trucks,
It's not.
you're increasing your capacity, but you're not supposed to go over 100.
And then
right?
It's supposed to be
No,
G
no.
divided by,
Dave, this is where we need you to step in.
but he said.
Right. You guys are-
I didn't do the calculation here.
Do you agree with that one?
No, it should be- Because it's, how much value?
G divided by L.
G,
Divided by L.
G
G
divided by L.
divided by L.
Yes.
Then why does the percentage go up so high when the number goes down?
Exactly, it shouldn't be,
G divided by L is right
G divided by L.
because
percent of vehicle capacity utilized. So if I put 0 and 0, I should be at 0% of vehicle capacity utilized, because I'm not using anything, right?
now but that is not a feasible solution, right? Like you required.
No, but as I increase my trucks and trailers, my percentage will rise until I get to a number that's close to 100. Correct?
This volume
Your percentage would decrease, right?
Good board, man. Get up.
It's all about
Rise up and go to the board.
come
So
here.
if I'm putting 5 pounds in a 10-pound bag, I've used 50%, right?
5 pounds.
I've used 50% of that bag.
Yes.
But if I put 10 pounds, that number rises, then I use 100%. But I can't put 15 pounds in a 10-pound bag. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but about zeros.
I buy somehow your logic. You're right.
Well, it says percent of vehicle capacity utilized. So if I
Yes.
have 0 and 0, I should be at 0.
Yes.
And as I increase utilization, the percent should go up.
Because here this volume has to be less than equals to
Yeah.
vehicle capacity, right? Right now it's more than the vehicle capacity, so it should be more than 100%.
As we decrease the number of
Right.
trucks and tractors we use, our utilization shouldn't go up. It should go down.
You're right. So this does that make sense to you? Now it's very clear in my mind. See, this volume
As
required.
it goes down, utilization shouldn't go up. And if you go G divided by L, it's inverse. It's not.
Are you saying that if we put a 0? in-
Listen to me. Think about it this way. The utilization cannot be more than 100%. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Right. And it will be more than 100% when the required capacity is more than the available.
Correct.
Right. So here required is more, available is less. Right. So basically, it's going over 100%, which is not possible.
Right.
So what Fred is saying is kind of right. So it should be G divided by L.
G divided by L.
No, that's not what I was saying.
No, no.
L divided by G.
No, it's G divided by L.
All right, so the total vehicle capacity is 3850, and I want 5012. So I want more.
G divided by L, right? That's what Fred you said, right?
Yeah. So the goal is to get to 100. Okay, then you're using too much trucks and trailers
G
now,
divided
right?
by L. It is G divided by L.
It has to be G divided by L.
All right, so what, we're over 130%.
Because you.
No, we had to manipulate the numbers.
You don't have enough capacity to fill that.
Yes.
12.
So what are you gonna
You
do?
can't physically do it. Your truck's too small. You need 2 trucks.
You need something there. You have to manipulate in such a way that
So you're trying to get to 0? in
No,
that column?
you want 100% in that column.
It's gotta be 100 or
And
more.
if you go over 100%, you need another truck.
That's close to 100%.
you have to come up with some.
You're like the guy. Who's that? You're Mayhem. You're the Mayhem guy.
What you have to do is basically manually you have to come come up with such a combination that you will satisfy all the constraints, and that's doable because solver is going to do it for us. Right.
What I don't understand is if I use fewer trucks, how my utilization goes up. That's what I'm
Obviously,
confused.
because what do you?
Because
You don't have enough.
Yeah, because you're putting more
You got
into.
more capacity, more load. You have more capacity.
Yes. See, think about this way.
if your car only holds 4 passengers and you want to put 5 in it, your utilization went
Yes.
beyond 100%.
100%. There you
You
go.
went to 100.25%.
Yes.
Or 125%.
Of that one, all right,
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get
Right, so
now.
now you need 2 cars to
Yes.
carry all the people.
all right.
So can you come up with some combination here that will satisfy all the constraints? Do you think about something? Some magic maybe?
I'm not sure we have enough life force right now. David, how's your life force back there?
But yours is not right. Oh, I was gonna say.
18, 4,
Because you had 7 vehicles. You had 7 tractor trailers.
I have how many? 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I have 11 trucks and 5 tractor trailers, and I'm 18, 4, 22. I've got.
Yeah, hey.
wow. Tell me the combination you use here.
I'm not telling you that. That's my trade secret.
Okay, we're gonna write down your answer.
I have 1 tractor trailer in each column.
Now tell me the answer.
Yeah.
But that's not the answer.
18,
because
4,
Ryan
22.
has-
I got Ryan's I got
Ryan's got-
17,000.
Wow. So Ryan is the winner.
Wow.
Is that Ryan?
17,000.
we are.
70,000?
398.
398. Who else can beat this solution?
I'm gonna say, wait,
Did you mathematically come up with that, or was it just trial and
I
error?
was trial and error.
Trial and error.
If I came up with it, you know that's what I got 18, 1, 22.
That's
So we got, so in the truck column, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, and tractor is 1, 1, 0, 1, 3. You don't have that many tractor trailers because it's gonna cost more.
1, 1, 0.
1, 3.
You got 93% utilization?
so here what do you have here?
2, 1, 2, 3, 1.
2, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 1, 0, 1,
So
3.
right now I have.
I got
17,190. I'm over 100%.
I got 93%. Yeah,
Yes.
That's right, 93%.
See, we are satisfying all the constraints here.
So what do you?
Come up with the right number.
So I have 17,100.
Can we beat this one? Can somebody beat this one?
17, 398. You have the same.
That's a dollar figure?
I'm looking at the right layout.
Figure.
See, that's over.
I stressed some stuff to the roof and came up with 16,000.
What did you do, Fred?
I put some stuff on top of the truck and strapped it down.
What do you have percent?
Diana, say it again.
Percent. The formula.
Here, this one? Okay.
Can I
So-
see- I'm sorry, before you go, can I see what you have in,
Pretty good.
in 16? In
And-
16 is cost, first one?
16, this one?
Yeah, I think I put an extra dollar, so I didn't see 16, I got an extra dollar.
17, 398, somebody?
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Agarwal. The linear regression.
The linear programming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ryan gets some extra points, right?
Yeah.
And the whole group. Okay.
Well, I mean, he works at a grocery store industry. If he don't maximize his truck utilization, he's broke.
And they also built the best castle / hotel / whatever we were building that day, right? Wasn't that y'all doing?
Oh yeah, you can.
That was Kenny and,
They didn't follow the rules.
we built out.
They didn't follow the rules.
No, so that was a project for which course?
It was
Ah, okay. So what you guys
Yeah,
did?
but they New England Patriots exercise.
We built some black.
Yeah? This
They
one?
do play for the farm, yeah, I guess.
Thank you.
I have something wrong in mine too, because I have it the same numbers that you do,
Okay.
and where
Let me
is
look at
the
it.
17, 398 and stuff? But, and I changed, you guys said G divided by L, right?
Yes.
See, look at those, isn't that strange?
G by L.
Okay. I guess time for the solver. I don't think we have enough capacity or guts to challenge that team. Right? So let's use the solver to beat them. Who knows? They might have done better. So solver is an add-in. So by default, usually it's not there in Excel. So you have to add it in. For that, you go to files here. You go to options, right? Go to files, options, and click on add-ins here. It's taking so much time. We are trying to add in solver. Wow.
You've already over constraints.
Yes, looks like, it's like a hardware constraint maybe.
No, I'm saying in the solver. You put the constraints already in solver.
We're gonna reset it.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yes, we're gonna reset it.
And should we do it? Mine
You're
has
already
a
good. Just
solver
in the time
add-in.
check, there's less than an hour.
Go.
Just so you know.
Yeah, yeah, sure. It won't take much time. It's just gonna be pretty fast.
I don't know, didn't we do this already?
You was already.
Are you guys with me so far?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to add our data regression piece. You already had it.
Yeah, I guess you might have done it for the
Maybe.
Yeah, we did.
solver.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we did it for data analysis.
yeah, data analysis.
Oh, we need euro currency as well?
No, we don't need euro. I'm sorry. We need analysis tool pack. Okay.
Yeah.
And solver add-in. Click on that one.
Only using VBA to do macros.
Yeah, because that's gonna add in those macros capability as well.
Okay.
Okay, now we got it.
I got it.
Right?
Maybe they would not do it.
Yeah, Dr. Boylan is pretty heavy on this modeling as well. So if you go to data, you'll see data analysis and solver. Those are the tool packs we're gonna use, but we're just gonna focus on solver. Okay. So we'll click on solver here. Okay. Before doing anything, click on reset all. Yes.
So what does that do when we, because Dave seems upset, what is it, when we click reset all, what does it actually do?
He had already
Do
pre-populated
it.
all this stuff.
Just
So
do
it's
it, don't
taking
look at
away
it.
It's gonna clean slate everything.
all of the formulas we
Yes.
just put in, okay.
No.
No, it's not gonna take us.
Pre-populated the constraints because he did this.
Yes.
So what it's doing is
Oh,
getting
you
rid
put
of.
that in.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, but the formulas that.
Yeah,
we
that
did,
does.
That stays.
That stays.
Hey, where'd that solver come from? I don't have it.
Okay.
And 5 minutes ago, call it 1-0.
And,
You got it on the truck from Lower Alabama.
Yeah.
So you guys think this is gonna help you guys like learn something or maybe use in your
This will, for sure.
right?
We just gotta get it.
Yes.
Once we get it,
Yes. Yes.
we'll be good.
Yes. And that's
So
a,
this to me, this is learning and
Yes.
This is, you get to hold on to something, right?
yes, definitely.
You get to hold on to it. So
Yes.
It makes it a little bit more fun. and a
Yes.
little more
Which is more fun, this one or database? Or both are?
Well, right now, this is just because I think as a
Group you can.
we use Excel. So
Yeah.
we're comfortable, but we can move around it.
Yeah.
Access database.
Yes.
I'm gonna call IT.
Yeah, we're gonna call IT and report you for using Access database because we don't use Access database.
Yeah.
We're like.
Yes. No, most of the time when you do regression analysis, that data you can fetch it from Access database.
Right.
And if you know a little bit of database has a lot of applications.
Yeah, no, it does, it's just for, it is,
Yeah,
that's why my
understandable.
company, well, actually my company and all my clients,
Yeah.
we preach against Access database because it's an alternate source of truth.
Yes.
And I need you to go to the warehouse and get the single source of the truth.
Single source, yeah.
And then you have people who
Yeah.
they'll start pulling their own data.
Yeah. And that's a dangerous thing. Yeah.
I'm out of sync. And I'm
Yeah.
like, don't use Access.
Yeah.
Go back to the
Yeah.
source.
But Richard, you'll be amazed. Still a lot of mid-sized organization. You know how they store information? Excel. Not even Access.
Oh, you don't even we convert people to our system.
Yeah.
I have to go and say, where do you get your data? Where do you get your
Yes.
data? Well, I started 2 years ago, and 10 years ago, someone created a spreadsheet.
Yes.
I get a spreadsheet
Yes.
every day.
Hey, Rich,
I load it up.
that's probably important when you guys practice.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and complete this one. Okay. As we said to start with, we have to set the objective here, right? So the objective is going to be our this total cost cell, right? That's the one we want to minimize the shipping cost, right? So I will click on minimization. Right, so we want to minimize that particular shipping cost here and 21. Okay, right, this is the total 17,398. We want to see whether we can beat that particular shipping cost, right? By changing variable cells. These are your decision variable cells. Okay, so yellow ones. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select this one. Yes. Hold the control key and select this one. Yeah, maybe Dave is a good guy. Maybe he can come here.
Let's not get carried away.
So you did it for trucks and then you do it for the
Trailers.
Hold the control key and highlight the next
Yes.
step.
So how do you highlight the first column?
Let me do it again. Okay. So you are here, right? I'm just gonna bring the cursor here. Highlight this cells.
Let go.
Let it go, and then do the control key here. Press the control key, and then highlight or select these cells.
while you
Got
look.
it.
Yes.
Boom.
Right. So time for celebration, right? Let's put some more constraints. So once we are done, maybe.
So in that one, you're saying,
I'm saying
what is it?
my objective is to minimize this cell value
By using. the
by
two-
changing the quantities in this cells,
Okay.
right?
What happens if Excel just runs really fast and putting all those number of possibilities in there?
Yes, it's gonna do it really fast. Especially this is a small problem, but trust me, Dave, if the problem is a little bigger, Excel, I do a lot of optimization. Like Excel cannot even. Why Excel? You name it. Other big software also, they work on brute force algorithm. So they kind of check each and every possibilities to give you the optimal solution. Yeah. Yes. So often that doesn't work. But this problem size is small, so the solution is going to be literally very fast here. So constraints. Let's start adding the constraints. I'm going to say click add here. Right. My first thing is we can do in any ways. For example, this truck values should be greater than equals to 0, right? So that's the first constraint.
So, okay, so you start with the second one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter in any order. You can do it. All you have to do is make sure you put in all the constraints. Okay. Are you guys with me? Andrew, with me? Okay. So I'm gonna click on add here, or just to be sure, you can say okay here, and you see one constraint is added there, right? Right. Todd, you with me?
I was, so you just hit that.
Okay, just
My cell reference was empty.
so you make sure that H16 to H20, that's what you have. If not, you can click on it and edit or change.
If you're in the add constraint window,
Yes.
and I don't have anything populated in cell reference, and I want to get back to the solver window, how do I do that?
Say okay here.
It tells me cell reference box is empty.
Yeah.
Select something. Select something there so that it will stop. Just click on one particular cell, number cell, and then is it working?
Constraint must be a number, simple reference, or formula.
So, just do what we did the first time.
Just do something.
No, hold on.
Yeah, I have to- It's still doing.
You gotta remember is, I've only done one so far because I just don't want to go to our whole.
I think you should be able to say, so you already have.
It's the same, but I
So you need to leave that one too, should I?
Yes, you can answer that.
got 15,574.
Okay.
Right?
And then the add one, I have to go back here.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
That was the second, that's totally.
I did it and now they were.
Maybe it's already there, maybe it's there, which is received first. So it's already there. So it's already, just this one, you can be, you can change it.
And you have to.
So you have to select something here. I got change one, let's use this one, right? And let's add it, you have H16 and H20, right?
Yeah. All right, now that's what I had.
See it?
Now I clicked on the first one, I wonder if I just picked them all.
So you asked for?
Yes.
Yeah, so you just play with it, So this was the first constraint, right? So I can just click add here and keep adding other constraints here. So I will click on add here, right? And I will add the second constraint, which is integer constraint, right? So I'll say this thing has to be integer, H16 to H20. Okay, you make sure you do that integer, otherwise it will give you fractions. Yeah.
Did you highlight multiple cells to do that or no?
No, I'm just doing one by one, but you can do multiple cell highlighting as well. Okay, I just want to go step by step here. Right? Are you guys with me? So I'm going to click add here. So if I say okay here, I have two constraints, right? You can do it in any order. Just make sure you do it all. And I will add a third one here. And this time I'm going to say
17.3 on you, that's it?
J16 to J20 should be greater than equals to 0, right?
Okay.
And then I will add another one here. I will say J16 to J20 should be integer, right? So if I say okay here, I have 4 constraints, right? And then we're gonna say we have a constraint on the number of trucks and the tractor trailers we are using, right? I'm gonna say add here this number, which is H21, should be less than equal to what here?
Which 21?
Should be less than equals to 12
Right here.
or F5, right? Raise your hand if you need any help. Okay.
What's that? Where did you get that SH 21? I got G.
Yeah, it's already there. 12.
That on that I.
We did, I'm getting to new.
We did likewise for record, many employees could take many trades. Many courses could be taken by many employees. Many employees can take several training courses. So that could be a single like muscle training courses. That course may take about several. Yes. So over here.
Did you have these on?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we need to figure out how to plug in these
So did I add for tractor and trailer? No. So maybe I'm gonna add that one here. Add tractor trailers should be less than equal to 6, right? So you say okay here.
These have to be.
So you added so many constraints, right? Are you guys with me? The last constraint is the capacity constraint, right? So we have to make sure that, so I'm gonna say add here. We know that I'm just gonna highlight multiple cells here. All this cell has to be less than equal to the total capacity for these cells.
And that was in the volume required one that you did?
Yes.
Okay. So
So-
you highlighted all of them or you highlighted the total?
All of them.
Okay,
I have.
G16 to G20.
okay.
You don't have to.
Uh,
I mean,
I just
it
did
doesn't
it.
matter.
no. Why? Why you don't need to?
You do the total? Because if you click the total, it's gonna come to the same result.
No. But remember, for each one there is a constraint. Like this particular. See, if you do the
But if you
total.
set the go ahead.
No, if you do the total, some of this the
Oh,
volume
no,
required.
I thought you were on the zero.
Okay.
You're fine. You're
Okay.
right.
Then we should,
Each one has to be done on this.
Yes.
Agreed.
Are you guys with me? G16 to G20 should be less than equals to L16 to L20.
L16, L20.
Right?
So when you do it like that, it's saying that cell G16 has to be less than or equal to L16.
Yes.
And then I'll go to G17 less than or equal to L, okay.
Yes.
I just wondering.
You got it right. Right? So I guess we are done with all the constraints, right? Let's double check. We have integer constraint greater than equal to 0 constraint. Then we have total number of trucks constraint. We have total number of tractor trailers constraint. And we have demand constraints, right? So I guess that's all they asked for, right? Those are the constraints we have to reach for. Before we run simplex here, go to the options here. Right? Options, what we're gonna do is integer optimality is 1%, which means is gonna give you the answer which is within 1% of the accurate answer. So it might not be totally optimal. So I'm just gonna indicate 0 there, saying that okay, give me the best possible answer. Okay, not the near optimal, and I want the optimal solution. Okay, that makes sense. And then here it's always better to specify time, like 100 seconds or 100 iterations, something like that. Otherwise, trust me, the problem is complex. It's just going to keep running. Okay.
So that's saying it has that much time to solve it.
Yes. And if solver cannot find the solution within the time or the iteration, it's going to ask you for permission to continue. Okay. And somehow, if it is, if you feel like it's stuck in a continuous loop, taking a lot of time, you can hit control break. Okay. Control break will stop the solver.
Because I guess you could essentially put in like a loop that it just continues.
If the problem is complex, it might take a lot more time. As you keep adding on, so here we have only 5 stores, right? What if you have thousands of stores? You know, what if you have thousands of models? So you because obviously you cannot be such a small company, if you have international business. So that time it's going to take a lot of time, a lot more, maybe 3-4 hours. Okay, maybe it will never find it. You need to go for advanced software. But in any case, if you think that it's taking too much time, just hit the control break and it's going to stop it. Or it's always better to give the time constraint, and whatever solution you get, that will be not optimal, but near optimal. Okay, depending upon how much time you give it to solve. Okay?
And is that, you lose your, so what's the difference in control break if you were to use task manager in that task?
Task manager usually close down the entire application, which is kind of very rude way of closing the application. You might lose the data or something. Control break is more a kind of sophisticated way to stop Excel. That's the only difference, I guess. Otherwise, yeah, that's the last resort. So with that here, we're gonna say here okay here. And remember, if you drop this box down, simplex LP is just one way of doing it. Okay, there are tons of different ways to solve this kind of problems. Okay, we have GRG nonlinear evolution algorithm. I work a lot with the evolution algorithm. Those are more kind of meta heuristic approach, and they tend to always find a good solution as well. Okay, so sometimes simplex LP, it's like what they do is they try to solve the integer linear programming using the relaxation approach, which means they ignore the integer constraint to begin with and just solve it as simple LP with the fractions. Okay, and then they try to divide the problem and go from there, branch and bound method to find the integer solution. Okay, so sometimes if you're running the simplex LP to applying the simplex LP to the integer linear programming, solver will give you warning that saying that it cannot linearize the constraint. Okay, so that means you cannot use simplex LP. It's not a linear programming. It's not a linear anymore. So you have to either go with GRG nonlinear or evolutionary algorithm. Okay, and different algorithm might produce different results. Okay, you keep that in mind. It depends on the way those algorithms work. Okay, then there are tens of thousands of algorithms. So most of the time, if the problem is simple, they will find the right answer. I guess this is brute force. So this will always find the best possible answer. GRG nonlinear, I don't know. Evolutionary algorithm is a meta heuristic. So you might not find the optimal solution, but near optimal. Obviously, if the problem is small, you'll always find the optimal solution like this one. Okay, so we're just gonna stick to simplex LP here and hit the solve button here, right? And looks like that was the optimal solution, right? Wow, how did you guys came up with that solution?
Great, Buster.
That's good. That's good. That's really something, it's very rare to happen, right? So here, what we're gonna do is, once you're here, we'll click on this answers here. That's a report we want. So you can keep that report, select that report, and we'll click on OK here. Okay. So if you see that, it's gonna add that answer report to it. Right. Let's go to the answer report. And this is a very good report. It tells you everything, what's going on with the problem here. For example, it's gonna tell you, you started with this solution, okay? And now you have this solution. So virtually it's telling you that there is no improvement, okay? Obviously, we found the optimal solution without using it, right? Secondly, it tells you all the variable cells. Okay, the original value for those cells and the new values, final value. So obviously we, thanks to Ryan and team, they found the best solution in the first place. So you won't be seeing any changes there, right? But it tells you how many trucks you are using, how many tractor trailers you are using. Okay, these are the decision variables which are which you can see here as well, right? Are you guys with me?
Would solver change that screen for you on the skeleton worksheet? If it found the right solution, does it change everything, or does it just provide you this report?
No, it's going to change all these things.
It would change it if that wasn't, if we
Yeah.
didn't have the optimal,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would change everything.
Oh yes. Yeah, yes. Try to put in there. Let's do it. Like, you can put any number here. Let's say I'm just gonna put. Let's start with now optimal solution.
Just put anything in there. Right?
Anything in there.
Okay.
Right. So right now it's 20,000. Okay. So it's gonna stick to it. All you have to do is go to data, solver, hit the solve button, and you'll see those numbers going to change, right? Right. So it's going to change those solution. Then if you go and select the answer, you'll see the difference there as well, right? It's going to produce answer report number 2, right? And here you'll see you started with 20,600, right? And that's a new one, and it's going to tell you the difference between the original values for those trucks and the final values, right? So, and here it's going to tell you which constraints are binding and which constraints are not binding. Okay, non-binding means they have a slack. That means you are not using them to the fullest capacity. For example, this volume required here, we say that, like, the cell value is 1512 has to be less than L16, so there is a slack, so we are not using to the fullest capacity, right? And that's the case for all these 5 location, I guess, right? They're all non-binding, right? Likewise, total number of trucks, we are using 9 trucks, right? So there is a slack of 3 trucks because the total capacity is 12, so we are not using 12 trucks here, right? Likewise, tractor trailer, we are using 6, so it's binding. That means we do not have any extra capacity left. So if you try to use it, it's gonna produce non-optimal solution, or you have to increase your fleet size, right? So likewise, all other solutions, they this Philadelphia store trucks, they are all binding.
I'm sorry. How did you get to this again?
This answer report,
Yeah.
when you solve this one, for example, solve it, right? You see the report answer here.
Yes.
Select it and say okay, and it's going to produce another report for you. Yeah, and there you can see which one has a slack, which one you're using to the fullest capacity, which one you're not. Okay, how much time we have left here? You need a break as well. Let's take a break. Well, let's take a break of 10 minutes, right? And then we'll come back and discuss those cases. Okay, go ahead.
Just run over there, run back.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Make it